All right. I lost the. Oh God. I'm already gone.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
We're here. We're back.
Hey.
It's the first Wednesday stream in a while. Johnny was on a boat. Gibbs was in Maine. I was in California.
I'm not on a boat anymore though.
Johnny's
wait.
not on a boat.
Not anymore.
What, Brent? What?
And I was going to say I'm Dylan 2.0.
Yeah, and that's
It's
still-
Dylan has
Yeah.
aged up a lot and changed his name. It's sort of
Hey,
like
Brent.
a time
There
warp
you go.
situation. No,
Mhm.
but of course it's Levi, it's Johnny, it's Gibbs of the All the Nerds, and we are joined by Brent from Age of Grogu.
Hey
Good
guys.
to have you on the channel.
Thanks.
And yeah, it may have been a sleepy day for Johnny, but it has not been a sleepy day for the industry.
Man.
A lot going down today. That I was just came out of nowhere, quite frankly, because the HBO thing, David Zaslav,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop
Still,
coming.
it's
The gift
still
keeps on
going
giving.
on. It
It
doesn't
doesn't-
end.
It doesn't end.
I
just-
told you. I warned. I remember. I warned everybody.
Yeah,
I told you this was gonna happen.
front row seats to
never
the
gonna end.
entertainment
There,
apocalypse.
there is one good silver lining there, though. It seems that Matt Reeves has been given some sort of a deal.
Yeah.
So.
I know, but is that one of those deals where? Because look, J.J. Abrams got a deal too with HBO 2 years ago. Like, is
Yeah,
that one of those
yeah.
deals where they're like, "Yeah, we'll pay you money, don't make your movie, like whatever." Go.
Yeah, he was
Who
gonna
knows?
make a Superman movie. Like you got. I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that people forget.
There's
Yeah.
a lot that was gonna get made.
Yeah.
But yeah. What came out just a couple hours ago is that Aquaman has been delayed another year. A whole.
Let's go!
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
god! I didn't see that.
Oh no, that's what
God.
we're talking about, Brent. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
gotten
wow.
delayed.
Oh, I
Big
missed
news.
that. Yeah, I've
It's
been.
gotten delayed until December 2023. So
Damn.
that will make it 5 years after the first one came out. And Shazam has also been
Wow.
delayed another 6 months until
Really?
March 2023.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so very cool, very cool. Will these movies ever come out? I
Probably.
That's the question.
I begged the
Wow.
question in the
Yeah.
thumbnail. Are these movies canceled? Like I don't know. Like it's literally been Aquaman. It's been 5 years since it came out. 5 years. Does anyone even care anymore?
No,
That's-
no one
that's
cares
a-
anymore.
that's
I didn't
a
even
lot of
see the
text
first
write-off.
Aquaman.
That
Yeah,
is
it's
a
in the
lot of
first one?
text write-off.
No,
Oh,
no, not interested.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
Amber Heard,
Yeah.
not interested.
Fair enough.
There's just so much. There's so much to unpack with that though. Like they
Yeah.
claim David Zaslav claims that it's to finish VFX. I'm
Bro,
like,
what does that
That's.
I know.
that's
that's-
crazy.
mean? Ain't no way.
No.
I just
Well,
don't
I know.
like,
I mean,
what
I
are
know
they
they're
making
doing.
us?
I know they're doing reshoots, but a whole year? No.
I know, but so this makes it even more confusing though, right? Because the big thing was they're doing reshoots with Ben Affleck because the Keaton cameo didn't make sense because this movie would come out before Flash, but now this movie's coming out after Flash again. So are they gonna undo the? It's all just
Oh,
a mess.
Crazy.
I got a story I want to bring up too.
It's such a mess. Go ahead.
Another sad one. It revolves around Batgirl. Again,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I saw this too. Go
not
ahead.
good.
I saw
Very
that.
sad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so adding more salt to the wound with this whole situation and specifically the Batgirl situation. So as you know, it was one of the director's wedding day when they found out. They found out online. And then they tried to log into their WB server, log into the admin to maybe salvage some of the footage because they put a lot of work into it. It's gone,
Deleted.
erased.
Gone. Yeah.
Batgirl is ceased to exist. There's no record of it anywhere. It's gone.
Yep.
All we have is the 2 pictures that we've gotten and the set photos, and that's it.
That's
The
crazy.
footage is non-existent.
I wouldn't be surprised if those are starting to get taken down, too. Just because
Yeah.
we talked about it on
Totally.
our last podcast, but with
Yeah.
the animation stuff, when they are clearing house, they're literally deleting them and deleting the social media accounts, deleting all record of some of this stuff from the internet.
Oh, yeah.
that they
No,
have
it's-
control of. And I just it boggles my mind.
What's hurting me
It's
the
mind-boggling,
most
alright.
is the animated Batman revamp from the
That's
basically
right.
the Batman animated
was-
series is gone. It's
Well,
they're
it's
sho-
not.
they're shopping
gone.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
And
But
no one's gonna
who's-
who's gonna
who's
pick
gonna
up
look
those
up the
shows?
Netflix.
Yeah.
Me and Johnny
That
are
was
banking on
Yeah.
Netflix to pick this
That was
up.
the top of the show
Yeah.
topic, but I'm. Gabe's and I were just together. And we were talking
Yeah.
earlier, but I think Netflix would be really, really cool. I hopefully they're smart enough to take that show because that show is an instant hit. The creative team and that vision, and I don't
It's-
know why no company wouldn't.
Well, here's the
take
question though. Here's the question
side of being
because
animation.
Can they own up the
animation-
rights?
well, animation. We'll talk about this when we talk about Bad Batch season 2.
Yeah.
With animation, the lead times are so long for production. So it all depends on if HBO greenlit this 2 years ago and they got a season in the can, it would, even though Tesla's been canceling stuff, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for someone to not buy this. But if this is just the idea still, if this is when HBO told us about it, when they came up with the idea, when they signed the contracts and they're that early in production, that's a lot bigger ask for hey, Netflix or whatever, who's hurting right now, when Disney's taking over the market, when you're billions of dollars in debt, spend a couple $100 million to invest into this show, this animated show.
That's
which
mostly
already
done.
well, no, but it wouldn't be done if I'm saying if
Well, no, it's 18 months it's already been 18 months.
Has
Yeah,
it
but
been?
there hasn't been any news.
there hasn't
about
been
the
anything
show
about
at
it.
all.
I feel like with HBO, they might have pulled the thing.
I feel
where,
very little work has been done on the show.
Oh, I think the other way. I think a lot of it was done 18 months ago, over the
I don't
last
know,
18 months.
I think it's optimistic, Brent.
I think they would have recorded season 1 voices, and I think
Would
they would have sent animation to start.
I don't know.
production.
I don't
know
think
about the
so.
Voices. I mean,
I feel
I
like
don't
when
know.
I feel like when they announced it, it felt like, hey, we just got this deal done.
Yeah.
There's been conceptual work going on.
No, we had a poster.
But-
that was
but
it.
here's
No, I
what
think
we're
it's
doing.
further on than that. I think it's further on than that.
I feel like we would have heard stuff about it.
I don't
that-
think we would have. That's the thing. I don't think we would have. There was very little once, say, the Animaniacs were picked up and continued through Hulu. There was very little about it for literally a year and a half, and then suddenly they hit it when they had got the animation through. Animation is weird about what they decide to
Just-
want to feed
This
through.
is
I don't know,
HBO we're talking
yeah.
about. We're not
Yeah,
dealing with
I-
normal
Well,
sane executive.
yeah,
This is
but-
Warner Brothers
yeah,
and David
no,
Zaslav, and
Yeah,
I know because Netflix
We'll
is,
see.
Netflix has canceled so many very popular animated shows recently, and it's been a huge problem because people
Yeah.
love those shows, and
Mhm.
only I think even the only one that's staying is Arcane, I think. But
Mm.
Netflix is not gonna buy the show. Because you brought that up. I just don't think they're already cutting back their division for animation. And so
Yeah,
is HBO.
yeah.
Who's gonna buy this? Who's
Yeah.
gonna buy this for a couple $100 million? Who's buying this? $100 million for the show? How much is it worth?
Yeah.
Is it 50? Is it a Batgirl? Is it 90? Is it 100?
Yeah.
Who's to say what this is worth, and who in this market right now is gonna buy a Batman
Yeah.
animated show? It's sad. Riddle me that. Answer. Give me.
Yeah.
And the other question, as I said, is the rights.
Like
Will they give up
Amazon,
the
maybe.
rights to allow it to be sold elsewhere? I don't know who owns the rights of Batman the Animated Series,
True.
whether it's Bruce Timm or whether it is under the Warner Brothers banner directly. That's the other question, whether they will let them do that. So,
I can't recall. I know the answer. If you asked me a couple days ago, I would have gotten. I forget it now. I believe it's still Warner Brothers, but I thought it was a different company.
Well,
Oh, it's
Either
not
way,
good
it's
news.
either
yeah,
way,
no, either way,
Batman
it's,
Crusader.
yeah.
the fact that it's being
Yeah.
quote unquote
But
shopped around means it
We sort of saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
even if they have a lot in the can, it's going to take a lot longer than before for this to come out because
Oh yeah.
Right.
because
Oh, yeah.
less than a year from now, HBO Max won't be around, and they're not gonna put it on whatever new. I can't wrap my head around it. We just have to talk
Yeah.
about it. House of the Dragon came out this past weekend.
Mm. Oof.
I haven't heard your thoughts on it yet, Brent. But me and Ben loved it. It was HBO's.
It was
It's like 10.
great.
It crushed. 10 million
Great.
people watched it. The biggest premiere of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is HBO's biggest show they've
Biggest
ever had.
show.
Yeah.
And they're like, this
Yeah.
is when they're like, oh, time to cancel everything, delete the
Mhm.
platform. I just don't get it. And they're
Yeah.
trying to merge that audience with the Discovery audience.
Yeah.
I don't
What
see how.
Yeah,
Discovery-
the
I know
Discovery
Discovery
audience
audience.
is a struggling
Like,
thing.
like,
to
no,
Discovery
we can't have this
Like-
on the Discovery platform. It's like,
Mm.
what is happening? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Who's like
Yeah.
an avid watcher of Discovery? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this.
What
they're
is
definitely
on
out there, but
Discovery?
I don't know, and I don't care. But the fact that the fact that HBO is this successful and they're
Yeah.
actively
Yeah.
canceling stuff in order to keep the Discovery content, just
Curb Your Enthusiasm is a go for season 12. on HBO.
thank goodness.
Will be coming out. in
Thank
October,
goodness.
I believe. So
Yeah, I think there's certain things that they can't.
Euphoria will be
They
sticking
can't touch.
around.
I think
Yeah.
this is a lot about the stockholders and who owns what on the Discovery Channel side and what they may have been in trouble for before and giving it the first push too. There's a whole lot of money issues, I'm sure, that are back there that we haven't heard about and don't know about who's changing hands with what, who has dibs on their own product from before anything related to Warner Brothers gets pushed forward. So who knows? I mean, it's a mess. It is a
Yeah,
mess.
To take it back to the opener here, yeah,
Mm.
Aquaman being pushed a whole nother year. I just can't imagine what about that movie
No.
is going to change. Like it was supposed to
No.
come out in a couple months.
I
Are they going to
think-
cut?
I
Are they
think they're
going to cut
gonna-
Amber
I think
Heard
they're gonna-
completely? Are they going to
I
just?
think they're going to cancel it, and they wanted to like wait until some other stuff is announced before like it.
You think? You think it's all
That-
going to get nixed?
I mean,
With
that's like
Aquaman,
that's
I-
like conspiracy, theory.
Aquaman's
the
tough.
Like
the praise
Probably not.
behind the Flash from these new guys coming in seemed to be high. I think they're just trying to give themselves a 2-year gap and trying to get Ezra Miller fixed up and better for what they
I
want
don't know,
him
but
to
no,
be.
Flash hasn't gotten
Who knows?
delayed though.
Well, it's
I
been
think it
delayed, like-
has.
Well, it's been delayed.
Well,
I mean, no, but not like
Yeah,
today.
Flash has
Yeah, not
Flash
again.
has 3 options to go forward.
Yeah,
It was supposed to come out 2 months ago. It's
Yeah.
meant to come out about a year from now.
Well, actually, no,
Oh,
it was meant to
God.
come out years
It's
ago.
supposed to come
Yeah.
out years ago, but yeah, you know that's
okay,
besides the
no,
point.
Yeah.
It's been delayed. Not
Yeah.
today.
No, not today. Not today. Only Shazam and Aquaman today. It's just it's sad. There's
Yeah.
nothing more that you could really say. That's the moral of the story. This just sucks.
Yeah.
It's a sad
It's a sad time.
DCWB, sad time.
Well, see,
That
like
could
part
be
of
a
me,
Warner
yeah,
Bros.
this needed to happen
Rich.
for DC. I think, as long as like the Batman is safe in terms of like movies. Like
yeah, I
like,
think
I'm
from
totally
what I
like,
can-
Is it
from what
though?
I've seen,
Let's talk about it. Is
Yeah.
it?
from what I've seen,
God,
it's
I
fine.
hope so.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm nervous about
Why?
the shows a little bit.
So this information, this is I know you hate her, Johnny, but this is Grace Randolph information. Yeah, boo. Okay, yay for me. But she was talking about how I don't know if you guys remember because it's I say that sort of facetiously, but they released a live action Aladdin movie that feels like a million years ago, but that came out in 2019, made $1 billion. Immediately, the sequel was greenlit, right?
Ezra.
Where's that at, huh? They greenlit the
Mm.
sequel, and they've been writing it for 3 years.
Oh,
Okay.
they did a Greenlight sequel. I didn't even know.
Dude, they greenlit it. It made $1
Yeah.
billion. They
A
greenlit the
spin-off
sequel.
or something like
Okay,
that.
sure, but an Aladdin 2 is
I know,
not a good idea for a movie.
I know,
regardless of
but
how well the first one
I'm
is.
but the insiders are saying it's a very similar thing with the Batman. Like they're trying to write it, they're trying to make it, but it doesn't have a green light. Like people are
Oh,
trying
really?
to make it happen, but I can't stress this enough. From what people hear on the inside, it does not have a green light, and that's why you saw the deal. It says Matt Reeves gets deal with DC or whatever, much like J.J. Abrams. It doesn't say Matt Reeves making Batman movies. It says he has a deal to make something,
No,
but it's not the Batman. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily the
Oh,
Batman.
yeah. I mean,
Well-
you are right. Yes, it hasn't been greenlit, but I do think
I've-
that it is.
I would hope so, but this is just it's
But it's like but the Batman is like their golden goose right now. I don't know. I think that's like the best thing they have going for them, and I think they know that. So if they
Do they,
do
though?
get a project off the ground, I think so. But I don't know.
You think they know that? I know you think so, but do you think they understand?
Man,
that
if Joker 2 can happen.
Yeah, I mean the,
the
Joker
Batman
2
2
and
can
like the
happen.
Batman 2. I don't know. I mean,
Um,
it's kind of
I think
The-
Joker.
I'm more
I-
nervous about the TV shows. That
Yeah, the
I
shows.
see happening.
well, like
Hmm.
Donovan brings up here. Peacemaker. I think from what I understand, that
James Gunn
should
seems
be
to-
fine because
James
Gunn
said that
is-
he's announced on Twitter that apparently at this point in time everything is a go ahead for season 2.
yeah,
That's what he's tweeted at least. So.
yeah.
They've done some filming actually, I believe. I think I
don't
recall
so.
seeing a set photo. He posted a set photo when he announced
Really?
that
Peacemaker?
they were staying on.
Not that I'm aware of.
I forget how
Um,
you
Check
did.
James Gunn Twitter. I'm pretty sure there's a picture of I forget the actress's name, but the woman that plays
His wife?
Court.
Yeah,
That that
Wife.
is his wife, isn't it?
Right? Yeah. Well, wife to be. They're in.
Yeah,
they're
engaged,
getting
engaged.
married. Yeah.
I see a thing he posted 6 weeks ago that was them together from last year.
Yeah.
It's not particularly important.
anyways, but-
It seems to be safe.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of
Interesting.
so as you know, let's shift into so Brent, yeah, give me your quick thoughts on House of the Dragon because I do want to talk about that a little bit.
House of the Dragon. I loved it. I watched your after show reaction with you and Gibbs, and I pretty much agree with both of you on everything. It surprised the hell out of me as to how much I would very quickly adapt and be simulated back into the series, because I think I'm with everybody else. The last couple of seasons changed its format, and because they didn't have a real trail to go off of, it felt like it was moving too quickly, too fast at the speed of plot, and that's not how the show was moving beforehand. And I feel that I'm ready to give this show a try. That's for sure.
I can't stop thinking about it, and I watched the episode again today. The shot during the joust
Yes.
of just the both the POV shot, but then when
Yeah.
when Matt Smith is dragging
back.
along like he's like
On the rail.
and then he slides
Yeah,
up. It's such
yeah.
a satisfying, like the way that
Yeah.
was made. It was crafted.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think you should give it a shot because Johnny hasn't seen Game of Thrones, but
Oh,
I think you really need to see
I
it.
think you can get away.
Yeah,
with
we were just
watching
talking about
it.
this.
You
I
don't
don't know.
need
I don't know if
Johnny, you will appreciate this. Out of if
Hello.
for anything else, you'll appreciate this one shot where the camera is on the horseback,
So
moving
good.
along, and you see
they have
the
it, like
actual
mounted on it.
joust,
That's pretty
and
cool.
it's mounted, and it's literally the position of the
Of the
rider's
rider. It's
stomach, of
incredibly
the rider's chest
Yeah.
around his stomach,
Yeah.
and it is the most incredible shot. Technically, I want to see behind the scenes on how that shot was done. It's
That's
incredible.
cool.
Like, it blew me away.
Yeah,
And,
I like was debating on doing it, but I mean, like, don't you? I feel like you kind of have to know the lore a little bit.
No, you
I don't
don't.
think so.
That's a cool thing.
I've
This
heard
is
you
like
do.
before
I
I mean,
that
it's a
all happened.
prequel. Man.
It's a
I mean,
prequel,
nothing-
You
yeah.
definitely
nothing-
you definitely would understand like more thematic stuff
Things,
maybe,
yeah.
but like I don't think you need to have seen it.
Yeah. Think of this as the
It's
Phantom
definitely
Menace
not.
to the
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yeah, it's like Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
I would never recommend watching Phantom Menace before,
I would.
but like
That's
you
me.
can get away with it.
Yeah, it's a question.
Oh, I would always like, recommend that watching Phantom Menace before.
You always
Uh,
would recommend.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
That's a horrible take. I'm
I
sorry.
watched it
That's
in
so horrible.
canon order. That's how I.
Yeah.
usually do it.
That's
Thank you,
so
Johnny.
bad.
Johnny and Levi
That's
agree
so,
moment.
That's so horrible.
Boom.
man.
Look at that.
Why is that
I-
horrible?
Dude, someone coming in for the first time to watch Star Wars and coming into Phantom Menace and like Jar Jar.
But if they
and, like,
if
Trade
they can
Federation
appreciate
rules,
if they can
No,
appreciate
but
Phantom
then
Menace
that's
for
when
what
you
it
get
is.
that progression.
Dude,
Yeah,
like,
if they can appreciate Phantom Menace for
no,
what it is, then they're
no.
gonna like
Yeah.
Star Wars.
dude,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like so jarring when like the clock turns back 20 years. Like,
But those movies are like flawless. If they like Phantom Menace but don't like the original trilogy, then like maybe this like film is not for them. But like if they can get the world of Star Wars from what George put into the Phantom Menace and grow with the story and then appreciate, because the originals are literally a perfect trilogy. And if they like that, like I don't know, to me it's like
okay,
I'm
so why
on
not
it.
show them the first like movie?
Because
order
chronologically,
always.
that's not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole story to tell before
There's a whole
that.
story
and
to
I
tell
feel like
before.
you gotta know that.
Yeah, I
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but like that story is much less impactful. Like, do you not know the story of Darth Vader like before going into the prequels?
I disagree.
I don't agree, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair
We'll
enough.
agree to
I
disagree.
like these are the hot. You guys have the hot takes.
Is this a hot take?
Yes,
Maybe.
absolutely.
I
Maybe.
don't know, Brett. What do you have to say? do you think about this?
I'm conflicted because if
Hmm.
anybody else coming in new, I want them to experience the way we experienced it, learning the whole process that Darth Vader is Luke's father
Exactly.
before it's really introduced that he has kids and that sort of stuff. And I think some of that element is taken away from it. But if you're talking about show it to a child or a young person, I'd say start from episode 1. If you're trying to convince someone who's older to watch it for the first time, I would start with A New Hope. I would go that way.
You're gonna ruin the like I am your father. Like
I don't think it's
why
ruined at
ruin
all.
it? It is
I don't-
ruined. You know that he's his father.
But it's like I don't think that moment works for the twist of it. It works for what it does to Luke.
Well,
No.
okay, I don't agree with you there because back then that was.
I
like,
don't.
the
Well,
twist.
was a
okay, back
crazy twist,
then, but since 1980, that has not been
yes,
a twist.
but going
Since
on,
that
going
movie came
forward,
out,
yes.
it has never
It's
been
been
a
around
twist
for a
since
little over
then.
40 years. It's
Yeah.
no
Okay,
big
but let's
twist
just say that
at
you
point.
don't know that for whatever reason.
No one doesn't know that. I at no point in my life did I not
Yeah,
know.
I feel like, yeah, if it was like a kid, like he'd know that already. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
thing that people just like know straight
Yeah.
out of the womb.
I
You
don't
know.
know. I'm shocked by what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you can be shocked.
You can be
You can
shocked.
be shocked. It's all right.
Fives is telling me to start with New Hope.
Let's just put it
Well,
this way.
Fives also
There
says
is
okay.
no
sequel. I don't
wrong
agree
way
with
to watch Star
Donations is-
Wars.
Alright.
There is
You can skip the sequels.
Ah,
Yeah.
just to make Levi mad here.
Just to make Levi. That was a
Levi's
dig.
making me mad.
That was a dig at Levi right there.
I'd say that the sequels would be last on my list. That's for sure.
Of course they should be last. There's 7, 8, 9.
You could say start with the sequels. Like the argument that you're making, like you could say start with the sequels.
That doesn't make any
No,
goddamn
it doesn't
make
does.
any
Want to
sense.
watch canon?
Yeah.
Canonical
Yes,
order. What?
Yeah, what?
What argument?
Yeah, what argument is that? What
Hold on.
is that? Yeah, hold on. Thank you, Johnny. How can you compare those two?
It's canonical order.
Canonical, it's like that wasn't
What
the
do you
way released. That wasn't the way
George
the stories
says
were
it.
told.
George is. I know, but George is like you. Okay, I know George Lucas always doesn't have. He doesn't always have the best takes, but he is like you're meant to watch it 1 through 6. I subscribe to
Yeah.
that.
Is there
That's
not
ideal.
Yeah.
there not 1, 2, 3, 4,
4, 5, 6, then 7, 8, 9. Why would you? How can you compare that to saying, oh, you
Because
could just
that's
say
not
start
the way
with
the
7, 8,
stories
9?
were told.
Yes, it is. You
That-
can't say that. 'Cause
No,
that's
that's
true.
not the way you. Okay, if you were reading a book that like had a flashback, you wouldn't be like, well, I'm gonna go start halfway through the book during
That
this
isn't the
flashback.
same. This is like saying there's a book and then they came up with a prequel to it. Like you could read Fire and Blood before you read Game of Thrones.
You made an argument earlier about like going back 20 years to watch the OT. Like Star Wars like projects are like
They come out all
they
over.
jump around all over the place.
No,
So
I know,
it's like,
but
it's a confusing
but
watch
I'm
to begin
talking
with.
more in terms of how jarring it would be to go from the visuals of like the blue screen and just the CGI of,
I don't
of
think
the
it's that
prequels
crazy.
into
I don't
the
think it's
like.
that jarring.
No,
It's
I
yes, it is, bro. Like watch the beginning of Phantom Menace.
I've
watch the
seen
beginning
the
of New Hope.
films.
No, I've
You're
seen it
telling
once or
me
twice.
That would
I've
not be
seen
a
it once or
jarring
twice.
switch.
They are
Why do you think
burned
people
in our
hated Phantom Menace
brains.
so much when it came out?
I
They
don't know,
hated
man.
Phantom Menace because it was like, wow, this looks completely different.
Yeah, and they were wrong.
Mhm.
Phantom Menace is awesome.
Yep.
But I don't know. I
Eh,
Debatable.
disagree.
eh,
I disagree, Ben.
That's a good little.
Yeah,
Little
I don't.
debate
I,
you had
yeah,
there.
clip that. Clip that. Hey, clip
I'll
that, Johnny.
clip it.
There you
I
go.
just, yeah, I don't want to harp on it too long. I just don't understand still the 7, 8, 9. How can
No,
that's
that was
comparable
just
to
a
1 through
dig.
3?
I'm not actually.
okay. I was like, that's Gibbs. I know you.
The Alders are over. No. Over.
Okay. Well, anyway, House of
Anyways,
the Dragon,
yeah, back
awesome.
to
But I
that.
wanted to bring up House of the Dragon in the context of
Right.
fantasy.
Yeah,
stories.
that was how he went down that
and
road.
the,
Right?
and the, yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
because it's a
Okay.
prequel, and the
No,
show's
that
coming
is
out.
still-
I don't know what to watch first. I
And
don't know.
speaking of prequel fantasy shows, The Rings of Power is about to come out, and everyone is loving it who has seen it. Everyone who has seen it has said it's like a
Chills.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I am personally the media coverage around the show.
Okay.
Oh, there's Jake. Nice. The media coverage around the show from like the fandom has been exceedingly negative from what I've seen. As someone who's not in really the Lord of the Rings fandom, getting it from the outside, it was just like negative vibes. Everyone's like, it's bad. It's all gonna be bad.
Did you
But
watch the last trailer?
I have not seen like any of the trailers.
Oh, really?
It's pretty.
I'm staying away from it.
Yeah.
Why?
Fair
What
enough.
is it, Johnny?
I just like they chose like a pop song.
Oh,
It was like
yeah,
a weird
This
like.
trailer was awful.
Yeah,
I was starting to feel
wasn't
a little
huge
up.
fan of it. Yeah,
I was starting to feel a little more up on
Yeah.
this show, and in the last trailer,
Bill,
I was like, you know what? No,
I-
this might be bad. Even though
see,
I
I'm
think
the
Gandalf
reverse.
is going to be in this show. That's like sort of my hot take right now, like early on.
I'm the reverse. I'm glad they're not showing us anything exciting or terribly huge. In
No,
the
it's not that.
trailers.
It was the music.
no, it was
choice.
just it was
was
it
the
was
music
they had like
choice.
a weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Didn't work.
It did not work. It looked like the most. It was just the most generic trailer with just some, like cut out like audio
I do admit
clips and
It
just
was
some
a
like
generic trailer,
and just some
which
visuals. It's like this is cool and all, but like
gives me
Like,
hope.
you
for the
could
trailer.
go and look at any sort of like artists like token drawings like
Mhm.
like there's thousands of images like all over the internet of like Middle Earth. Like
Yeah.
I can see that anywhere. Like it's really more about the story that's important here. Like even though the show doesn't look good. And
Well,
it's
if
like,
I may, can I
Okay.
read some of?
Okay.
Can I read some of the
yeah, it's a bunch of
reactions?
shows
Yeah, I've
getting
been-
paid off
I've
by
been-
Amazon. Probably haven't even read Lord of the Rings.
I've been curious about the reviews. I haven't read any of them. I haven't had time.
All right. Well, here's Steven Weintraub. You may know him as Frosty from Collider.
Yeah.
I have seen the first 2 episodes of Prime
Uh-huh.
Video's Lord of the Rings series. Prepare to be blown away by the scale and scope of the show. I don't know how they managed to pull this off, but they made a Lord of the Rings show that feels like the Lord of the Rings movie. Perry Nemiroff, who you may know from in front of all of the movies you see. 2 episodes of Rings of Power in, and so far, good. The production value is remarkable, one breathtaking visual after the next, and the level of
I'd
detail in the
hope.
costume and production design is something else. On and on and on. The Rings of Power is definitely a promising return to Middle Earth based on the first episode. Stunning visuals, compelling characters, and a magnetic lead. and Gladriel, who refuses to surrender, and a widely held belief that Sauron is defeated. Can't wait for more. It's on and on and on. You know, Rob Keyes, Neil Gaiman said it was awesome.
Mhm.
The who created
Wow.
Sandman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's seen
I've listened
it.
to the soundtrack already. The soundtrack is great. It's online right now on Spotify, and it goes for sale next month. But it's
Ben
done by Ben
McCreary, right?
McCreary, yeah, and I love his work as well. But it's a good, it's a decent soundtrack.
Here's one from Rob Keyes. The Rings of Power first episode is better than the marketing materials would have you believe. It feels massive and
Shout out
sets
to the
up
marketing
factions.
team.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, the
believe.
dwarves are already cooler than the Hobbit.
Wow.
I don't know. There's just a lot of it's just more and more positivity.
That's quite a praise from
Trent Moore.
both people there.
The massive
Well,
budget just
yeah.
bleeds off the screen. It feels like something that fits alongside Jackson's films. Yeah, but even with such a huge world, it's never overwhelming and keeps its focus. Like this also sounds really good. People are loving it.
Wow.
It does look beautiful. The trailers make it look.
You would hope
feature
so,
film.
because
Feature
it's
film,
a very
reality.
expensive show.
It looks beautiful. They're
The
just
most-
great.
Actually,
Most expensive show of all
It's the
time.
most expensive show ever.
So, well, you would hope, but
Maybe-
yes.
Yeah, it's the most expensive production ever, most
Yeah.
likely. Like all in all, a little harder to judge against movie, but
Yeah.
No, but that sounds good to me, man. Again,
This
I've been
isn't- I don't know.
flipping.
This isn't
I've been
I'm
Flippity
going
flipping-
in.
at
I'm
all.
going in
I'm-
with pretty low
been
expectations.
flippity flopping.
I am too. I'm going to
Yeah,
very
I am
low
too, but-
expectations.
The trailer didn't blow me away, but
Much
I
like
think
House of the Dragon.
that little marketing little quote there, how the marketing, it's better than how the marketing makes it seem.
Yeah.
I think you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting little quote.
Yeah.
Shout out to the marketing team, but that's exciting.
I mean,
I
had
struggle to see
Exciting.
how this show is going to be better than House of Dragons, or at least like the
But
pilot.
here's the thing, Gibbs. I went into House of Dragons with the trailers they'd shown us, and the trailers for House of Dragons did not do much for me either. I don't think there was anything terribly powerful that said I really want to see this show, and I decided I wanted to watch it just to see anyway. And within the first episode of House of Dragons, we got character background, depth, story, plot, where it's going, everything like that. I felt we got a lot from it. I'm hoping to see the same thing from the Rings of Power.
I didn't feel like I had any problems with like the marketing of House of Dragons. It probably did end up being better than maybe the trailers showed. But like my problems with House or Rings of Power go back beyond
there's a
trailers
lot
and
of
stuff.
Right.
It's just it's been a flawed show since the start, and just as sort of going against.
Yeah.
Well,
going
a
against
big
there's-
worry of mine was the writers, but it seems like people like the story and how the characters are written, so that's a surprise as well.
I stayed away from all. Still haven't seen a single House of the Dragon trailer, and it's the same way with Rings of Power. I've only ever seen like the magazine covers and the headlines and stuff, and I went in with such low expectations for House of the Dragon after Game of Thrones season 8, and I was blown away. And I'm sort of expecting now the same thing for Rings of Power for me.
Yeah.
I'm excited by it because a lot of those people who are sounding off, I trust their opinions. And,
me too.
Yeah.
Friends of the show. Maybe.
I don't know about that. No. So you're still nervous, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, in classic Gibbs fashion, I feel like I'm usually the skeptic of this channel. With Kenobi, I was very
resident
down.
skeptic.
With Daredevil showing up in She-Hulk, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I don't think it'll be bad.
It's going to be bad. This show, I've been worried about it since I heard about it years ago. So I'm expecting it to not be good. I'm expected to be disappointed, and I probably will be, regardless of the quality. Like I think it's I'm just gonna be salty about it.
I know, but did you hear some of the positive things like the characters?
I don't care really what media people are saying. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's more about what the average token fan is feeling, and I feel like those people are like this is bound to be a good TV show. Like
True, that's
there's
fair.
$1 billion sunk into it. Like it's gonna look visually amazing. Like. I mean, I don't think it has like a crazy star-studded cast or anything, but hopefully, they all do well. Like, it's going to be a good show, but whether it's going to be a necessary show, whether it's going to be respectful of Token's vision.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of those reviewers brought up how it stands against Jackson's films and feels like it's part of the same world, and that to me,
that was a big piece for what I was hoping. So
I agree.
Yeah,
but those Hobbit films. Not
I
the best.
agree. The Hobbits didn't pull me in as much.
Hey, when I watched them as a kid, I loved them.
They filmed them in
I
60
like the
FPS or
Hobbit
whatever.
films,
They
but the
filmed them
Hobbit
in 30
films
FPS.
are
They were-
like good movies. Like
Yeah, no, I know.
Lord
Comparatively to
the
Lord of the
movies
Rings trilogy,
are
obviously,
a
it's like
is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that. So,
Yeah,
but
it seems like Wrench, aka Liam, is agreeing with you that it's going to tick all the boxes of a good show, but it might not respect the source material, which is why he won't like it.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah, that's fair.
My
That's
source
a fair
material
point.
is the Peter Jackson films. So,
same. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I really have not read the books. I am not connected into the heavy, deep reading of what it is. I understand what it is that
Yeah.
is brought to the table by Tolkien and what he is presenting and how he's trying to present it. I'm just, as I said, I'm just curious to see back into this world again. I'm happy there's more fantasy. We got Willow towards the end of the year as well.
I'm
So
so
we got
excited for Willow.
so many, and we still haven't seen a lot.
The fact
I'm,
that we're
I'm
gonna have
hoping,
two fantasy juggernauts going
Yeah.
up against each other, all
And
through
then
I know,
Willow.
which is the timing of it, and then
Yeah.
Willow.
and Willow, yeah.
Of course,
Uh,
it's sort of like apples to like. Yes, they're both like fantasy, but like these shows cannot be more dissimilar, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really think of Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings being similar like, at all. Besides the fact that they're like somewhat fantasy inspired.
Fantasy.
Right.
That's where the comparisons end for me. So even though it's like, two big fantasy shows, I actually don't think they're gonna really be similar at all.
I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks, won't we?
Yeah.
I gained such a greater appreciation for Willow after
Mm.
watching the ILM documentary, Light and Magic,
Mm.
and sort of where it falls in the
I watched
timeline
part of it. It was really good.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it.
of Lucasfilm.
I need to watch the last 2 episodes.
Because it's a movie that it's Ron Howard, but a lot of people
Mm.
forget about it. And because it's this world that George made the story. It's the same. It's sort of the same
Yeah,
thing as Indiana Jones.
I'll be
where
honest.
George,
I didn't even know about it till recently.
Like
Yeah.
George made the story for this fantasy world. Ron Howard
Yeah.
directs it. It's the same formula as some of Lucasfilm's other big successes, but
Yeah.
it sort of just gets forgotten. And the fact that now we get a show in that world, because I only watched Willow very recently. I too was like, I don't know what that is. Is that Star
Yeah,
Wars?
I-
My parents were like, no, it's not really Star Wars, but it's like kinda. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
It's kind of Star Wars. Is it kind of Star
Well,
Wars?
in the sense that it's George Lucas and
Well,
it's the same people working on it, and it has the same feel and it's same.
Yeah,
it's- but-
I gotta give it a watch. I haven't.
but like it's
haven't
good.
seen it.
Like I loved it. I was like, oh
Yeah,
man.
it's worth watching. It
Cool.
totally is. Yeah.
Also, I watched for whatever reason Ewoks Battle for Endor, and I enjoyed that a great deal.
Really? Like
throwing it out
actually
there.
though, or like
It's something about it. Like I said, I was inspired to watch these movies, these like 80s ILM or Lucasfilm stuff from watching the documentary because I just
Yeah.
saw all the passion and work that went into
Yeah.
creating some special effects. And yeah, I don't know. Like, there's some cool, like all the guys on on horseback, like riding over the hills of Endor at the end. Like, it has a cool feel to it. Like, obviously, it's
Yeah.
goofy and they're silly,
Yeah,
but
it's a little. It's
Still
a little
targeted
like-
at little children, but it's still got.
but it's
some
still like
moments.
it's still got some
Yeah.
of that Star Wars 80s juice in there,
Yeah.
like right off of the back of Return of the Jedi. That I'm like, there's something cool. The costumes are awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some stuff that I was like, I like this. I'm glad that this exists. Yeah, that's my quick aside on that. But anyway, speaking of Star Wars, Andor new clip came out
Andor,
today.
Yeah,
Very
Great to be
exciting.
getting Andor.
Yeah,
So slow to get
Brent,
here.
have you seen the clip?
the little clip. Yes, I saw it today.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. It sets the tone. I mean, it sets the tone
Yeah.
of what these two characters are going to be like, and it seems that Skarsgård's character is kind of surprised at the whole idea
How-
of being able to just walk through the door of an Imperial.
yeah.
What an
You know,
actor!
Yeah, so good. I mean, both of them so amazing, and
Killing it.
it's interesting. It's like I was not as big into Andor until we saw Diego Luna on stage when he was standing up there.
Celebration,
and the energy at the celebration, and that energy that man and Genevieve O'Reilly were putting off were just.
And the trailer though too.
The trailer was good. Those two on stage
They
for
sold
some
it.
psychological, they just sold it to me personally. I was like, I love the nature of these two actors who are on stage presenting their production to me, and now I want to see it because, like, I really want to see it because of that. And now I'm just getting more and more hyped as we're
Yeah.
getting closer.
Well, if you want some more of those
Absolutely.
interview vibes, it's all on Star Wars Explained channel right now. But a couple weeks ago, the actors all did a roundtable that the press is just coming out for now. And there's about an hour. There's an hour
Oh
of
yeah, it is. Yeah,
roundtable questions that it just came out earlier today, about
cool.
5 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
So you can see the actors, all of them, talk about their characters a little bit more, just like
Cool.
it felt just the same as on stage. And there's a lot of information that dropped in there. But I mean, Gibbs and Johnny, what did you guys think of the clip? The little Andor and Luthen talking.
I literally just watched it before we started, so I liked it. It was interesting to see Diego's and they're dynamic. They're the two characters dynamic, and I again sets a tone. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it was a clip. It was a good clip.
Well, here I don't think
show.
It was a clip.
Well,
It was a clip.
for
It
Johnny
was.
and Brent, before you go, Gibbs, because I don't think I think you left Johnny before we talked about this on the pod, but a lot more information has come out about Luthen Rail as a character, and the fact that he's so what we know now is he's a high-end
antiquarian.
He's an antique dealer on
really?
Coruscant.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I remember we were going through the trailer.
we were theorizing, but yeah,
We
now
were
we know.
theorizing that.
So he's
Yeah.
he's a high-end
Oh, really?
antique dealer on Coruscant.
Yeah.
That's his cover,
Which is
and
dope.
so he gets to as part of like hunting for antiques. That's his cover of like going out to these outer rim worlds, and so. Just knowing that in the context of this, because the way, I mean, he talks, the dynamic between them, he's like 1,000 credits done. Like this guy is wealthy. He is so rich. And the way that those two are playing off each other, like I watched the clip like 3 or 4 times. The way he fans the credits out, just I am enamored by Skarsgård in this role.
Yeah.
I think he is just killing.
He's made for Star Wars.
He's made for Star Wars. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The way he sort of stumbles on his own words to make himself feel more genuine, like it feels real. It just feels so real.
Are you guys seeing Andor this week? It's only playing for 4 days, I believe.
Yep, I'm seeing it. I think it starts tomorrow, but I'm seeing it this Saturday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no Thursday.
There's no
I'm
Thursday,
seeing
okay.
it. Because unless work comes up, I'm seeing it 11:30 a.m. on Friday morning, and it seems that there is going to be the actual release time is 2 hours 22 minutes. Rogue One is 2 hours and 13 minutes, so there should be a 9-minute segment of behind the scenes or making of or a clip from Andor.
I think it's going to be like the first 10 minutes of the episode.
It could
That's
be,
what I
yeah. It's a good 9-minute clip we're going to be seeing, so it's going to be kind of cool to see that on the big screen.
I mean,
especially
the poster says like with a sneak peek at Andor. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably be like a message from Boyega.
Yeah,
too.
I'd say there's about a minute message. We'll have about 8 minutes of footage of some sort.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so excited for that.
Yeah, I am.
Big screen too. You're totally right.
It's just out for the weekend, like this
We
weekend.
may make it. Maybe
Yeah,
Sunday
I
night.
think
We
it's
want to
only
see
for, like,
Bullet
4
Train
days.
too. So
It is just this weekend. But
I feel like
Bullet Train's good. I
I feel like I just saw Rogue One in theaters. So
I did. I saw it 6 months ago when it came.
So
when
I
they
just
had the,
like I
Yeah,
like,
Disney- I know.
for some reason I watch Rogue One like it's like always on or just like I've just seen it so many times.
No, I mean
like,
that's like I feel like
I'm
that's
not
the one that
particularly
Disney pushes
interested
out
in
the
watching
most.
Rogue One, like, but I know I have to, I guess, before Andor
Yeah.
starts. So
may as well see it on the big screen. It's only
Yeah.
on the IMAX.
I'm
you
more
don't get that
interested in
chance
the.
to-
I might just show up like halfway through because I think the first act of that movie is sort of a mess.
Fair enough.
I'm inclined to agree. However, speaking of that first act of that movie, as part of the deluge of just information we have now, and there's just so much to sift through. Like we could sit here for 2 hours talking about all the little quotes. The Andor is now confirmed. Tony Gilroy has said the last 3 episodes of Andor, they go up until 5 days before Rogue One. Like you're like literally, it goes like
Oh
right
wow!
up.
Oh,
until
this
the
is
movie.
season 2 though.
It's
This is
season
season
2.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last 3
Yeah.
episodes of season 2
Yeah.
are like right
That's
up
exciting.
to Rogue One. I'm like,
So
what does
that'll-
it mean? Like, will we see Jin in
like-
that? You know, like, is she? We're
Hmm.
gonna get like.
Yeah,
stuff.
will that be like the scene
I
that
wouldn't be
Andor's
surprised.
on? I forget the
Yeah,
like,
I'd
the
not be
planet
surprised
deal?
if Jyn Erso
Is that-
definitely turns up. Yeah,
There's going to be some cameo characters for sure
Yeah.
in this
Oh, yeah.
show.
no, I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be big.
Yeah, Jin will definitely be in season 2. I will not be surprised.
I wouldn't be
Well, she-
surprised if we see Hera.
she could
I'm
potentially
sort
be
of
in season
expecting
1.
that.
Because
Yeah.
right well in the timeline, Jin would either have just been ditched or will be about to be ditched by Saw Gerrera. And we know that Saw's in
Yeah.
the show, so like that has to get
I don't know
referenced
if
at some point.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
reference, but I don't know if we'll like see Jin until season 2.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to keep the secrets flying. I mean, they kept Luke Skywalker under covers there. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get any Luke Skywalker moment, but we'll see.
I think we
We'll see.
might. I think we might.
You do?
With
You
Jin.
do think we'll get one?
I think we will with that. I think we'll do it. We'll get that with.
We're gonna see some of the ghosts.
Yeah, not in the same way. Not
Yeah.
in like
Yeah.
the Andor's in a tough
absolutely
spot,
gonna
and
see
here's
some
a
ghosts,
hero you know to save the day.
Yeah.
But I think
No.
we'll definitely get there's like young Leia in the background with like
I
Bail
hadn't
and Mon
thought about
Mothma kind of thing. You know, because
Ooh.
that's who would be there.
Yeah, well, that
Leia
kind of
would
stuff.
be a
I mean,
young
like-
senator. Like
Yeah, Luke's kind of its own.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I meant, yeah, we'll definitely get like people like, you know, legacy characters within the show.
Mm.
Like,
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Tony
Luke Skywalker is
Gilroy.
the biggest.
Tony Gilroy
I'd say
is so
Leia's
funny to me.
pretty big too.
Another
Oh,
one of these
yeah.
shows, Tony Gilroy comes out today and he's like, "Don't worry, guys. There's not going to be any fan service in the show." I'm like, "You're making a show about Mon Mothma. Like,
Yeah.
shut up! Like,
Yeah.
what are you saying to me?
There's
Like,
gonna
it's
be-
it's so goofy. Like, it's all fan service. You're making a show about like this obscure background character from 1983. Like, okay,
Yeah.
it's totally fan service.
Excuse me.
and yeah, I mean, I hopefully get to see the Rebels crew a little bit, like you said, Hera.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I
That'd
mean,
be a big thing for me. Like,
They have
that's not just a throwaway thing. Like,
Then they have a Hera actress now.
Yeah, I know.
There's an actor
Yeah.
cast playing Hera right now as we
know
speak.
that exactly, which is
so,
what,
like-
like really, and they like even showed that like at Celebration.
Yeah,
Like,
they should.
shows-
Yeah.
But
I would
remember,
not be surprised.
those small factions never interacted with other factions of the larger
But Hera
rebellion.
did though.
Hera did? I don't
She
know.
would-
I mean,
Oh
would
yes,
leave.
yes. She was
She
the
would
only one
leave.
that was
yeah,
like,
you're right. She
I'm
would.
talking to
Yeah.
Falk. She talked
she
to Fulcrum.
explained it to them
That's-
after a
Yeah.
certain point.
Yeah.
Like, we aren't the only
Yeah.
ones, and that's
We're a
how
cell?
season. That's how
That's
season
what-
1 ends.
I'm not a cell.
Right.
You're a cell.
Yeah.
Because they all get together for the first
That's good.
time.
Yeah.
Dude, live action. Oh, speaking of which, this is a total niche thing, but the guy who plays the Predator in Prey, he's like a big, he's a big creature effects guy. Said he's doing a Lucasfilm thing, and people are like, maybe he's playing Zeb, because it's like that's what he would do. You know,
Yeah.
he's this huge guy who plays creatures.
You
and
would
he
be
says
the
he's
one to do it.
and he says he's working on a Star Wars project.
I like
And it's
fear
like-
to think of what Zeb would be.
I haven't-
I
But
think
Yeah,
it'd have to be a CG in the end.
oh, I hope not.
I don't know.
I-
Like, if you
I
get
would-
I think they could do a pretty good practical.
Yeah.
I think
what
it
up,
has.
Dimes.
I don't know. That's
Yeah. I mean, well,
That's
CG, a mixture between CG and suit.
Yeah.
yeah.
mean,
Like
It would keep Steve Blum's voice.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
that? Why is that? Ugh. What about?
no, I'm
Like
just
that-
thinking
yeah.
how they would do that. I know. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking how they would do that. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I think they could pull it off.
I think they could pull.
Oh,
it
yeah,
off.
that would
We've
absolutely.
seen
Yeah.
some pretty crazy
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd be in much. Like the way he talked about it,
No.
because this is public. He talked about how he's
Yeah.
in a Star Wars project and he's in it like he doesn't have a big role, but it's sort of like a side role. And you don't cast
Right.
this guy for like to be a extra. You know, he does creature
That, or he's a
That's-
Wookiee.
or he's a Wookiee. You know,
Yeah.
but either way, like you cast this guy to do creature work that has screen time, and it would totally make sense to me if that he's
That's
Zeb.
fair. That's fair.
Because we
Yeah.
saw, you know, it's not like this is some mystery anymore. We saw
No.
with
Yeah.
our own eyes Hera and Sabine and
Yeah.
freaking Jason Sindula. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we saw that with our eyes.
Yeah.
So why would Zeb not be around? You know, like you could. I mean, you could explain that he's off with Callus, but like it would totally make sense if he's in a hologram or they talk
Yeah.
about it. I don't know. It makes sense. Mug
Yeah,
is
I
here.
want like even I would take a Zeb hologram as well.
I
Mug.
love that.
I'll take this
I love that
Zeb.
photo. I love that photo so
I
much.
don't think the Andor series needs a
Thank you,
lot
thank
of major Rebels influence. I think they will keep that more for Ahsoka. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Let me be clear.
Hera
I think
seems like the perfect introduction of a
But, like-
guest appearance. But yeah,
I think Jeb would be in Ahsoka, not Andor. I think only
Yeah.
Hera
seems-
would have the opportunity to be in the
Yeah.
first season of Andor.
yeah.
Of course, but if we are moving up closer in second season, like
In the
to
second
Rogue
season,
One, then
like,
we could
that
see,
is-
and that's
yeah.
after Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So
Especially if each 3-episode arc is only
Is
going
a
to
year.
be a year. Yeah,
And we know- and we know-
could see the entire crew. So we know
Yeah,
that
we-
Hera is on.
Well, Mon Mothma, one of our main characters, literally announces the rebellion in the company of
She do be
all
doing
of
that.
the Rebels crew in
Yep.
season 3.
Yeah.
The rebellion officially starts. The war officially begins in season 3 of Rebels with Mon Mothma, with literally the entire cast. So,
I wonder if they're going to retcon that.
no, I don't think they're gonna. Rebels. Rebels is
no.
they have yet to retcon anything that they've.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think they would
based on
touch
where
that.
Mon Mothma is when she's,
No,
when
I don't know. She's like, it's kind of hard to retcon that. She is in
Yeah,
the Ghost
it's-
on the bridge of the
Yeah,
Ghost.
I know
making
she
that
is.
call.
That's what I mean. I wonder if they're going to retcon that in
Why
live
would
action.
they though?
I think what they would do if they wanted to save on the cost is you would just see her message from a different character's perspective.
Possibly.
I don't think they would be like, yeah, no, it's just
Possibly.
not that. It's
We
not
can see the ghost again in real action. Oh my
yeah, we
God.
know they have it. They
So
built it.
Yeah.
cool. I know.
I mean, it's
but
Ahsoka. Ahsoka's coming.
I know. What I'm gonna say. It's
At
just,
least Ahsoka.
Technically, we
yeah.
saw the Ghost in live action in Rogue One
I
and Rise
know,
of
I
Skywalker.
know, but at the same time, it's going to
I
be
know.
just like we're going to get to see the insides. We're
Oh,
gonna
I didn't
get
even
to
think
see
about
the
that.
insides,
Like
which is
everyone,
great.
all the creatives are always like, "Oh, this connects to Rogue One so much." Like part of Rogue One is you hear General Syndulla, you see Chopper, you
Yeah.
see the Ghost. Like that would make sense if they're like those are elements that they
Yeah.
brought into Rogue One.
Mhm.
And I'm starting to think it's almost like 100% that we're seeing Ghost Crew in Andor.
That's what I said at the very
I
start.
think it's
I'm
pretty
convinced.
possible.
It was like, oh, there's no fan service. No, we're gonna see
Yeah.
Hera
I know.
this season, guaranteed. Like honestly, like
Yeah.
maybe not guaranteed.
That's what we're talking
pretty
about,
easy. For me.
Dime.
Yeah.
I
Second
think
season,
it's not a, it's a
I
lie.
expect
It's a
to
total
see,
lie.
like all of them. You know, like
Yeah.
second season makes sense that like they are around and
Just
working.
a,
Well,
ve-
yeah,
a very
Steven
exciting
Spielberg-
thought.
This early
yeah,
on in
I see all
season
of it.
one, like I think maybe we'll get like a Hera like hologram or
Yeah.
something, or she'll be like on.
That would
Yeah,
be
one of the days
sick.
It would be. It would be.
That'd be very cool.
Oh, Andor is so
Um,
exciting. Andor is in less than a month, guys.
I
Yeah.
know.
I'm so freaking excited. The
Wait,
clip, man.
It's 3 eps.
Yep, 3 Eps.
Oh boy,
It's a
oh,
movie.
boy.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my god, it's gonna be a late night, boys.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to do.
Yeah.
I think.
It is. Yeah.
I will be up.
I will.
I will not be resting. That
I will
night.
make sure that work is not happening the next
Yeah,
day.
That's-
Mr.
that's-
Mr.
that's
Mr.
what-
Midnight. Easy
Yeah.
for you guys to say.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's what day of the week?
It's a Wednesday or hypothetically Tuesday
Or
night.
Tuesday
so
night.
They haven't
Tuesday,
changed it.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
That depends also on when they're gonna
Well, speaking of
Drop
yeah.
Bad
Can we
Batch
brief
is-
talk about Bad Batch? Yeah. What's up?
Mm.
Oh my God, Bad Batch. Oh, I forgot about
When
that.
do we
Yeah.
think? I was listening to Star Wars Santa and making Star Wars talk about it earlier. They don't think Bad Batch is coming out until 2023, and I think that's
Yeah.
nuts.
I don't
No.
know. I mean,
They think that or they heard that?
That's what they think.
I
And
don't-
sort of, I mean, I can't see it.
I don't
I-
see that either.
I mean, it's delayed again though. Like,
Well,
so
we don't know if
what,
it's
October?
delayed. We know it's taken off the list, and I'm still going in the favor that they have been hearing what people have been saying, and that is that the animation shows should not be going up the same night as the live action shows. Already, we know that Marvel did a deal because of Miss Marvel having a very bad opening two
Because of
episodes
Kenobi.
because of Kenobi. They did a deal to change it to a different night, and these are starting to happen now. So every time they've released a Lego animated Star Wars, they've done it on a Friday night. I still wouldn't be surprised if they put the animated shows up on Friday nights, kept Tuesday night for Star Wars, and Wednesday night, Tuesday into Wednesday.
I
for
would
Star
love that.
and
I love
Wednesday and
Fridays.
Thursday for Marvel, and keep it more on a permanent schedule. So I get a feeling they're just going to adjust it by a few days, not by an entire year, for when they release the Bad Batch. I feel like they know they had that. Because then soon after that, they'll want to drop the Tales of the Jedi too. So
I think Tales of the Jedi is going to drop all at once, though. I think it's going to be like Visions.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that might be.
It's
one
technically quote unquote shorts, even though they're like Clone Wars length.
Yeah.
But with Bad Batch, previously, Disney Plus briefly said September 28th, new
Yeah.
season streaming. That was on Disney Plus. That wasn't like a rumor. It said that on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Then they took it down, obviously. But for this whole time, though, when we were there at Celebration, they said fall 2022.
Yes.
They didn't purposely announce that September date. They said fall 2022.
Yeah.
And what happened was it's not that it got delayed. It's just they did the solicits for September, and it wasn't on there. So
Yeah.
that date, that September 28th date, may have always been a placeholder. It also could be the case that they're saving it as a surprise for D23 to be like, hey, here's
That's-
something like
yeah.
here, it's out right now.
We'll
kind
get
of
an
thing. Like,
official date. We'll get
Yeah.
an official date in 2
Yeah.
weeks' time when they do
and
D23.
I could also
I
yeah,
think
see
it'll
that
be close to that same date.
yeah,
It'll
and
just be-
exactly. I think it could be
Yeah.
a total
Yeah.
case of they just wanted to keep it secret so they could
Yeah.
have something to say at
Yes.
D23.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna show a Mando trailer too, so
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well,
I can't see them not showing.
I think we'll
at
get
this point it's circulated enough that most people have seen it.
I think we'll get a Bad Batch 2 trailer. I think we'll get the official release date of Bad Batch, and I think we'll get a Tales of the Jedi release date as well.
Did you guys
maybe
get a chance to see the Kenobi trailer for D23?
Yeah,
dude.
When I saw that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was like a movie.
Too,
Yeah,
at first.
Yeah.
I know. Oh my
It
god! I was like,
marketed a little bit
bro.
like that because it was like a Jedi's return.
I want to watch Star Wars in front of the volume.
Yeah,
I know.
Watching, like,
I went like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was so cool.
that was a. I like had a shock there, and I was like, no way, and I was like, oh wait. But it's still exciting though. It's
Still
still
Did you watch the chance to watch the trailer though, Johnny, for it?
Yeah, no, I watched it.
Yeah, the fact you're so right, Brent. The fact that they're watching Star Wars in the volume, I was so like, I want to do that so bad.
Yes.
They had
Yeah,
this
they had it
he was
behind
standing
them, right,
like
as they
so
were talking.
close. to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
screen. It was funny.
No, it
It was cool though. It was
really
visually
cool.
cool.
I'm excited
Oh,
to see,
visually.
and hopefully we can see some of our friends in it as well. Hopefully, fingers
yes.
crossed for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but pretty exciting.
Yeah. And then on the same day, we also get Thor: Love and Thunder drop on Disney Plus,
Plus.
and Marvel's Assembled on Thor: Love and Thunder is also on
Mid,
as well. So,
Good.
oh yeah, I'm
Mid.
just-
And a
yeah.
Frozen
But I
2
think
sing-along.
we'll be all be watching.
Nice.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a very busy day on September the 8th.
Yes.
isn't it, for all,
for sure.
because of course.
There's gonna be like a live stream that day, though, right?
Well, I don't know. They do that. They do that weird like live tweeting thing.
Yeah,
Where it's like
I think
the
that's what
long
it's gonna
thread.
be.
They did that last year. It was awful. Everyone hated it. It was the
Yeah.
worst.
We gotta be
Um,
primed though that day.
In previous years, the biggest like thing Disney's ever done in terms of presentation was the 2020 Investor Day in December,
Yeah.
where they had Kathy come out on stage and do the here's the
Yeah.
10 shows. I don't think they've really captured that vibe since.
Yeah.
Because the 2021 Disney Plus Day was it was like the awful
Yeah, it was terrible.
thread.
Mhm.
So I hopefully they'll do something in between, or maybe it'll be a stream.
Well, they're going to also have to drop the Willow as well, and drop a Willow trailer and stuff as well during
Me and
that.
Levi are hoping they're gonna announce a sequel show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I really, do we even
I don't think
talk
so.
about that?
hope so.
I-
Well, right now.
Mm,
That's been going around a little bit.
Yeah.
I would certainly love a Finn show, for one. That would be really interesting. I know that's been said a handful of
I
times,
think.
but-
Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's
You
jump
time
into
to talk
this.
about John right now. Yeah.
Because we didn't talk about it on the pod that Oscar Isaac we sort of brushed over that Oscar Isaac has said he wanted to come back.
Hmm.
That was like just a couple days ago.
yes.
Then the trade runs this story, Variety, with the headline John Boyega like never coming back to Star Wars. And then Gibbs and I were talking before the show, like it's the point where like CNN is running articles saying John
Yeah,
Boyega quit
it's-
Star Wars.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
Which I don't
It's
know
everywhere.
why CNN would be
I know,
running
it's
that.
so-
Yeah,
it's
because
not-
there's like
A boring
there's a
week.
racial
Yeah, hold on.
aspect to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the whole thing is massively taken out of context and not at all what he said.
I was
really.
tricked too because I came in. I was like, wait. I mean, he's quoted saying that he doesn't really want to
But
come
it's-
back, but
It's like a half
out of
quote because
context.
the
and, yeah,
quote,
it's a half
like
quote.
the quote that people keep saying is like he just says like I'm off it, but like his whole quote is
Yeah.
like I'm good off it in reference to I had a good experience, like because the
Yeah.
okay, sorry this story is like blowing my mind because
Yeah.
the whole story is he's doing an interview and they're asking him about Moses Ingram on Kenobi and how she experienced all of that all that
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his own experience with it, how at that time he didn't really get a lot of help with that, but he was so happy to see Ewan and Disney and people come out for Moses. And he felt like,
Mhm.
I'm glad that I was able to, even though my experience was, worse, I'm glad that I was able to lay the stepping stone so more people like me could be in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then he says like, no, I'm like, it was good. Like he's reflecting because in the past he said pretty disparaging things about the sequels, his experience on them. And then he came around, he did interviews like saying, that's not like if Kathy called me. He said like people are ignoring the fact that he said if Kathy called him, he would come back.
Yeah.
Like he said that. Like he said,
Yeah.
I would come back.
Yeah.
And so in this
Yeah.
interview, he's saying like, yeah, like 7, 8, 9 were good for me. Like Finn is at a good point. He can be in animation. He can be in comics. He can be in books.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. But
Yeah.
like Brent was saying, when they dump up, they come up and they dump the couple $1 million on his front lawn. He's gonna
yeah.
come back. Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
absolutely. It's all about money.
Yeah, people are like,
Yeah.
it's done forever.
Yeah.
No, nothing is happening.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that's silly.
No. I mean, there's also the other side of it as well that he could already be attached to something, and he's just saying and
Yeah.
acting out the fact that he's
That's
not.
the hope.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that. There's
That's
always
the
that.
hope. That's
for
the
sure.
hope. That's
It's the Andrew
thought.
Garfield principle.
Yeah.
The Ewan
Yeah,
McGregor.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Liam
What are they
Neeson,
going to
like,
say? Oh
I
yeah,
don't even know them.
I'm
That's
already
still
Star
making
Wars?
Star
What is
Wars.
that? Star
Yeah.
Wars?
Which is
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was a couple weeks before Kenobi. He's like, I would never.
I would
be
never
in a
do
TV
television.
Show. He was like in a TV show.
I mean,
Like,
it's
not
been
that long
going
ago.
around for 2 years now that there was going to be a Finn TV series and stuff like that, and we don't know how much into development. We don't know if he was actually offered anything at that point in time.
Well, here, let me throw one on you, Brent,
yeah.
before you continue. What we
Yeah.
do know is that JD Dillard and what's his face? There are two guys who are the stormtroopers who Rey mind tricks in episode 9. They had that cameo and they were at the red carpet and they were directors and writers and they were making something for Lucasfilm. It was announced.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't like hidden. They were in the movie.
Right.
They were at
Yeah.
the red carpet. They were in production of something that everyone
Yeah.
thought was a Finn thing. And then when
Yeah.
COVID happens and everything goes dark and we haven't heard anything about them forever. I think
Right.
I think they were making the Finn show.
Right.
I don't know.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it was.
I hope.
Let's
I
see.
hope. I would
Yeah,
love to see that.
February 21st. So this is right before COVID hit. This is from Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
And I can't stress this enough. They were in the movie. They were in Rise of Skywalker and at the red carpet. Star Wars movie in the works with Slight filmmaker JD Dillard, best known for writing and directing the sci-fi thriller Slight, and Matt Owens, a writer on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage, have been tapped to develop and write a new Star Wars feature, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. So it was
Yeah.
that was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage guys making a Star Wars movie with Finn. That sounds cool to me. Like I
Yeah.
like those writers.
I like Luke Cage. Good show.
I don't
liked it a lot. I enjoyed it.
Can't stress enough. They were in the movie. This is like when like when Liam Neeson was in episode 9 and freaking Hayden Christensen was in episode 9. They're both like, "Oh, I don't know what that is." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You were in the movie. Like
Yeah.
you can't lie. It's so silly. Like you were there."
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, I think absolutely that Finn show
Yeah.
is coming. It's not Dimes. Stop. It will come out. It will happen. Harrison Ford said he
God,
would
I
never come
hope
back to
so.
Star Wars.
And
Harrison
he came
Ford
back
was like,
twice.
he came back twice.
Yes.
Okay, well, Rise of
Well,
Skywalker is a little bit.
Yeah, none of it's set in stone, but I mean, like it
Oh
would,
no, absolutely. Yeah.
it would
It's-
make
I
sense
know.
if
Yeah, but I was hoping like this is gonna be announced at D23. Like this has been my dream.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking
Yeah.
of it anymore.
yeah.
I didn't.
Um,
Yeah. I don't think so.
No, but
Well,
I just,
here's
that,
another
that's
thing,
been my dream.
Another thing, Spider-Man No Way Home, the extended cut is coming out. Tickets go
Yes.
up on the 2nd.
Got my tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
11 more minutes of footage.
With one of the worst posters I've ever seen.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
the No
so
Way
I
Home
haven't seen
posters
it.
have just not been it, like
Yeah.
Can
at
we pull
all.
this up?
I can pull it up. Yeah,
Here,
they've just not been good, like at all.
I would match Dimes $1,000 for them
I don't like.
a Finn show
not
at
one of them.
D23.
Did you
Not
delete
one of
all the freaking Toby things from the? Dylan always deletes all of our man. Okay,
Might have
never
been me.
mind.
I don't know.
Boo,
We always have
Dylan,
funny
boo.
things, and Dylan always deletes or John delete them.
No,
We've
do
got
you know,
so much space on it. You can only put 100
Oh,
images.
it's-
on
I know,
there.
you can-
Oh,
they
that's probably,
limit
oh,
you.
that's probably right. Oh, do they? Oh,
they
that
do.
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there was
I
this awful
found that out
image
the other
that
day.
they were doing like right after, like they were starting to Toby, to advertise him, and it's just, I think it's one of the worst photoshops I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And this new
That's
poster has the
interesting.
same vibes. It is the same vibes.
No,
There's,
it doesn't, dude. It looks so. I like this.
It's a bad poster.
That's bad
It's-
poster.
It's not a good poster.
Look at
but, like,
look at
it's-
Zendaya's head.
in terms
Look
in
at that. Look at
terms
her
of
head.
Yeah.
in terms of
layout
the
is not great.
like in terms of No Way Home posters, this is like the best. This is the cream of the crop.
No.
In
No.
terms of No Way Home posters,
Look at
in
the
terms
way
of No Way
Matt
Home
Murdock
posters,
done
I
it.
agree
Look
with
at Charlie
you.
Cox. That's awful.
he looks
I hate that.
stupid.
Yeah,
He looks
that's
stupid.
awful.
But I agree with you.
This looks
But
like
you
a
gotta. But
2000
don't forget.
poster, dude.
But don't forget. This is good comparatively.
I don't think so. I think this is the worst.
This is a
Dude,
cluster.
I'm
cluster
looking.
F
I'm
on-
looking at all of them.
on the
I
bottom.
didn't. They have awful posters for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Awful,
That
it's
is
awful,
so.
awful.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's
look at
No
look
Way
at
Home
Jake.
posters.
Look at all the way they're cropped in.
What?
Oh.
Matt
Yeah.
Murdock looks so horrible.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah, he
so
looks
bad.
silly. He looks. He do be looking silly.
I think
So does
that's-
Flash. Like Flash looks so goofy. That's
Yeah.
some good stuff.
Ah, Flash. Been brutalized.
No, I love MCU Flash.
Nah.
Yeah, I like him.
I didn't like him in No Way Home. I
Hey, She-Hulk
Anyways.
comes out tonight, guys. Are we excited? Episode
No.
2, She-Hulk? No?
Oh yeah, still, oh my god, I almost forgot it's tonight. Wow.
I honestly don't care, but I'll watch it.
I mean, I think I said my piece before. I did a reaction video to it. I just don't enjoy the kind of humor, and I still laughed at it. There was still some funny moments, but I'm not a big fan of comedy TV format that they're shooting it towards, and it just doesn't do anything for me. It's the same way that
I didn't think
I'm not a
it was
big
very
fan
funny.
of horror film, or I'm not a big fan of westerns. I just don't enjoy the format. It doesn't mean that I can't have a laugh and bits and pieces, but already She-Hulk is, kind of better than Daredevil for me. But at the same time, it's like
Better than Daredevil. Hold on.
I wasn't a fan of Daredevil.
Hold on.
One
I-
20-minute
Out
episode.
of
He said-
Daredevil,
Wow.
He said better
I
than
was-
Daredevil already.
I was unenthusiastic on Daredevil. Sorry, Daredevil.
That's a
Sorry,
completely
Daredevil. I mean,
different
sorry, I'm not Daredevil. I mean, crap. Sorry, no.
Hawkeye? Moon Knight?
No, Moon Knight. So I said,
Oh,
dude, Daredevil. I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh
Moon
my
Knight.
God,
I was
Brent.
like,
Moon
I was
Knight.
like, Brent.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Do you know who you're talking to right now?
Sorry, Moon
Yeah.
Knight. My bad.
Aye,
My
aye,
Moon
aye.
Knight. My Moon Knight.
Even better than
I think
that's
also
still a
that's
crazy
kind of
take.
wacky.
That's a
I don't-
crazy take.
I don't agree with that either.
There's
Moon
like
Knight,
one
I couldn't-
20-minute episode
No,
out.
I
It was
couldn't
horribly
get
edited.
into. I couldn't get into Moon Knight. Well,
Different
that
stuff.
episode also, by the way, She-Hulk episode last week was supposed to be episode 4
Eight.
or 5.
Episode
Oh,
eight.
eight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Awful. That's what an awful little fact about that show that they publicly announced.
Yeah, fun little
Yeah,
facts.
it's very. Yeah, She-Hulk has been a weird one where they're like, yes, all of these
Yeah.
things that you think are bad.
I don't know why they're
we
just
wanted to
saying
be the-
stuff. They're just saying stuff left and right about. They're like, oh yeah, like they said Marvel's like you can't use anything related to Spider-Man at all.
Yeah.
We had no creative control over the Daredevil suit. That stuff's fine, I guess, but it's just funny that they were like, oh yeah, originally this supposed to be from episode 8.
No, Anchorman, I actually do know what Beavis and Butthead is, and every time I see that there's a new one coming out, I actually think of you because I'm like that kid loves Beavis and Butthead more than anyone humanly
Funny,
should be able to.
yeah, I haven't seen that show.
Nor have I, but I know that
I'm-
Anchorman loves it more
I'm
than
not
anything.
particularly a fan of it. But
To be
okay,
clear, I
enjoyed
think
it.
She-Hulk goes all right. It's like a 7 out of 10 for me. It's like 6.5.
Yeah,
7.
it's like well,
It just could be
in,
better.
in terms of yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
terms
it
of-
was
I don't
6
know.
out.
Yeah,
it's
we'll see.
It's
I
above
mean,
average.
it was
It's
mid.
above
It
average.
was
You get
Yeah,
to
it's
see
mid.
what
I
they
see.
intended to
nah,
do.
I think it was average. You gotta really
Wait,
take into
average is like
account
a 5
comparatively.
though. Average is 5. To me, it's above average. To me, it gave me more than like, your generic like Inhumans. That's a Marvel TV show. That's like, man, I don't know what I'm watching on
I
why
think
I'm
that's a
watching.
dumpster fire though.
Technically,
I don't-
tonight we get to see what they originally intended for us to see from episode 1, technically
True.
onwards.
Yeah.
Right.
I just,
So,
man,
sure.
yeah.
just
I just
that
don't
like
think-
courtroom fight at the end of the episode was
Bad.
so
What
horrible.
a weirdly edited scene.
Not well
Yeah.
edited.
So
Yeah.
horrible.
That threw me in.
They did release a clip. It was today or yesterday that I actually thought was sort of funny. A little promo clip.
Was it
If
the
we're
one
like,
of
if we're like
the
walking
actress?
through. No, they're like her walking through the like offices and like he's like asking her like what he thinks about it. She's like having her whole like fourth wall break, talking to the camera,
Moment. Yeah.
and she like comes back and she doesn't know what he asked her, and she's like, "I'm very agnostic." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" It's a funny clip.
My
I'll
favorite,
have to watch it.
I'll give it up
this
for that
week is
one.
on the pod. Everyone go check out the pod when Dylan is like,
Yeah, go check out.
hey,
the
hey, why does fourth wall breaking happen? How's that allowed?
Yeah, he's like, "How is this
Yeah.
allowed?" It's like, I don't know, man.
So-
I mean, that's a really existential
That's
question.
a question.
Just
Existential.
quickly here, Gambit says the She-Hulk CGI was disgusting. It didn't bother me, but
I
here's
disagree,
something
yeah.
interesting I did read as well. I did read that Marvel are actually now looking at the smaller houses. Right now, they're literally pushing so much pressure onto the outsourcing of
You
small.
want to know why? Because they got exposed.
They got exposed. Yeah. Did you see that? But
Yeah.
but the fact is, they are going to be trying to
And they're
release
trying
the
to
pressure.
counteract.
Yeah,
Yeah.
release the pressure on the amount of overtime that they're forcing people to do.
Because VFX
And-
people aren't
Yeah.
unionized
Yeah.
and they're worked to the
Unionized.
bone.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
have been for
because
a
there's
very long
more
time.
Of it. And so ultimately, at least they're taking a stand, or hopefully taking a stand in that. But yeah,
This was the thing I've been I forget what I was looking at. but this was just like an interesting little thought. Does Marvel feel special to you guys anymore?
No.
Yeah, in the sense that it still feels like Marvel. I still think it's.
I mean,
it
it
has a
depends.
unique
I mean,
feel.
I've had this take for a
But,
while
like-
where, like, I really
Yeah.
hate that they use the movie intro on the TV shows because
That's
I just think that opening cinematic.
But yeah, it
is,
doesn't
like,
feel
that
you
felt
like I don't
special.
get excited about it.
Sitting down in a
anymore.
movie
Yeah.
theater and seeing that, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna see the
Yeah.
next Marvel movie."
Yeah.
Now, like, I gotta watch that before like every single
Every single
She-Hulk
episode.
episode. I'm like, "Ooh, done with it."
I mean, we all know the epitome, the build-up point for the entire first phase was the end of Endgame. And
Sure, yeah.
it's very hard to pick up the pieces once you've come off of something that high up. And we know that we're going to get that delivery in another 7 or 8 years' time or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And we know we have
Oh,
to
I mean,
start
oh,
this-
not even. We got,
well,
we
yes,
have it in
okay,
Secret
yeah,
Wars.
right, okay. Well,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
but at the same time, yeah, it's only 2 years away. Wow.
Just 2
Um,
years away.
but at the
It's
same
kind of
time,
insane to
it's-
think about.
it feels like a slow burn right now, and I'm finding it hard to be enthusiastic about everything that's coming out.
I still think it feels
and-
unique though. I still think it feels like Marvel.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's-
I'm
I think
still
it's
gonna
a
watch
feeling.
everything. That's the thing. I'm still gonna watch everything.
I don't think you need to. I don't know. I don't feel that way. Even though I
Really?
do. I do watch
Yeah.
everything. But I'm
Yeah.
Johnny's question was like, do you think it still feels different? And
Like
I think it does.
special. Like,
and I
this,
thi-
like, is like I don't
I
know.
still think it does feel.
I mean, there's
It
nothing
feels.
else like it.
Yeah, there's nothing else like it.
Oh,
I
I've
don't know.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it, Dimes.
That's for
Ten
sure.
out of 10.
I guess it's yeah. Oh yeah, Dimes. I actually have watched the entirety of the show, and I just watched the finale.
No, I
loved
gotta
it as
catch up.
well.
Well, here,
Beautiful
before
show.
we go, because
That's a great connected universe right there.
The Finn show won't happen.
Oh,
Allow me
two
to
shows.
allow me to take you back to May of 2021, where
Okay.
John Boyega says, whichever way, I'm open to a conversation of returning. If it's Kathy, maybe someone else, it's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
Like he said he's more adamant about a story, but this time, I think even Oscar, even Daisy, I think everyone would be kind of like, if we're going to come back, the story is worth us coming back. I don't know, like he says, like he wants new characters, we help them, we facilitate. I don't know, like he said all this stuff like last year. Would his opinion really have changed that much? You know, if he said it was a no-brainer coming back, like I feel like his I feel like the quote that's going around now is taken out of context.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whichever way, I am open to the conversation as long as it's Kathy, JJ, maybe someone else. It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
To me,
Yeah.
if it's a no-brainer, that sounds like he's willing to come back.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I would love to see that. So,
And
Yeah.
you know for sure if they aren't actively in talks, the second this comes out, Lucasfilm, Kathy's making
Yeah.
a call to John.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the second this
Yeah.
if it's not on top of it, Kathy is
Yeah.
calling John, and it's I don't know. To me, this is a non-story. Everyone
Yeah.
can if you're a fan of the potential of continuing the story after the sequels with those characters, you can sleep easy because I think it will happen eventually.
Yeah. It's going to have to. I mean, come on, Disney parks are set up for the sequels, and that's it. They're not shifting their look and franchise so soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were trying to let the like things like cool down a little bit. I think
Yeah.
and now I think they've waited a little too long, honestly.
Yeah.
And then, I hate talking about it, but I just remember when Star Wars Theory went in this whole like tangent. And you got a fight on Nerd Theory with Josh about like I was like everything they're doing is sequels,
I remember this. Yeah.
and it's just I was like, what are you talking about? Like
true at all.
like Kenobi, like Ahsoka, like
Andor.
Mando. It's like every single show on the horizon has nothing to do with the sequels. Like you could sort of count.
What was it
based
even
on
triggered
numbers.
by?
I don't remember. I just think it's like, and I know if they announce like a Finn show or like a Ray show or anything in that era, people are going to be so
Lose
upset
it.
about it and lose it and just be like,
Some people will.
it's like
but
give it the chance
Is
to
it gonna
have what
stop us
Clone
from
Wars
watching it?
was.
No.
Like, give me the Clone Wars with the prequels. Like, give me
Yeah.
that.
I know. I think there's so
want-
much potential too. Like John Boyega said it best in this quote. Finn is at such a good place to continue his story right now. He's a burgeoning
way to get trained by Ray.
He's a burgeoning Force sensitive. If you've watched the Lego specials, he's literally like he's a Jedi. Like, and those specials are obviously not canon, but like Lucasfilm is treating him as if he's becoming a Jedi
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that's what he's
You're
going to
getting
be
trained
doing,
by Ray.
and that is an awesome thing. And we want to see that character do in the movies. I am with the opinion you just there wasn't enough time for all those characters. You need the length of a TV show to give the characters their due. And Finn training is what I want to see. I want to see John Boyega become a Jedi.
Rey trying to build up the order and Poe like climbing the ranks of the Resistance or the New Republic. Like,
give it to me.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I want it.
Yeah.
No one's more critical of the sequels than that's not true. There are people who are more critical than I am, but
there's so much
potential. I'm not the biggest sequel lover here, but give me that show.
Yeah,
same with me. Same with me.
Same with him. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I love it. I'd love to see it.
So, Kathy, if you're listening to this,
Kathy, my queen,
the all new nerds, we're giving you the green light.
My queen. I missed her. The saddest moment of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, you missed Kathy.
Kathleen, my queen. That's my favorite part of the whole vlog. It's so silly. All right, guys.
Yeah.
We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes here. We covered a lot. I'm glad
we did talk about a lot.
It's a lot in 3 days though too. It's like this is practically the last 3 days.
I'm pretty happy with the amount we covered. Thank you guys for watching live. If you made it to the end here on the VOD, thank you for watching this long. Thank you, Brent, for hopping in at a very, very last minute. I didn't know you were coming on the show until about 5 minutes before it started.
I
did not.
I didn't
I just it's like, if I'm not working, I haven't been working.
My bad. Hey, my bad for real.
Johnny was asleep. There's a lot going on. Little napsy doodle.
Sleepy day.
Sleepy day. But everyone, leave down in the comments below. Let's hope Johnny feels better.
I do feel fine. I feel okay. I just.
Hey, he's working on episode 3, guys. Episode 3.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching.
And
we will see you maybe for She-Hulk stream tomorrow morning. Around noon. We'll talk about She-Hulk. The reaction to She-Hulk episode 2. But we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.